Hello, Amy White here with Worthy Written Words. Today we're going to be in the Doctrine and Covenants, section 68, verse 29. The first thing we're going to do is cover up verse 29 with some washi tape. And this is just to ensure that we don't cover the verse when we go to trace the church. So you can skip this if you want. And next, we're going to decide how tall we want our church building to be. You can decide by making sure you have enough space to put your holy, holy, holy stickers and the flower stickers along the bottom. Or if you want it to be shorter to not cover up the words, you can do that too. Just however tall you put it, you're going to have to extend the lines as well. So once you figure out where you want it, you need your light box tool. And underneath that, you'll put the church, and we're going to trace it with a pencil. And I am going to put the church traceable. I'm going to hold it still by using some washi tape and washi tape it to the page so that it doesn't shift on me. And next, I'm going to trace the church using a pencil. Now, it's not meant to be super straight and perfect. The traceable itself isn't very accurate if it comes to symmetry. It's meant to just be more of a quick doodle. And so I'm not too focused on using a ruler or making sure that my lines are super straight. I like that to be a little bit more of a relaxed look, so I'm not going to focus too much on that. Now I'm going to use the washi tape again to cover up the parts of the walls so that I can do the stencils on each part without worrying about the stencil overlapping into the other walls, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So I am going to focus on this outer wall and then the closest to the edge of the page wall. And then when that's done, I'm going to lift up the washi tape and do the middle wall. So we don't want the brick to be the same going all the way across the whole church. Otherwise, it will look like one flat wall instead of three separate walls. So I'm going to make it so that if I do extend the mini ink blending tool with the stencil, it will go on the washi tape and not where I don't want it to go. And if that makes no sense whatsoever, just do exactly what I'm doing and it'll work out. Next, we're going to use a mini ink blending tool and a new foam pad, and we're going to use our stencil, and we're going to use the Distress Oxide that came in your kit. This is Fired Brick Color. I'm not going to outline the stencil in pencil first because I don't think that it will erase if I cover it over it with the Distress Oxide. So I'm going to be super brave, and I'm going to just go ahead and push down on top of the stencil. I'm not smearing it because I don't want to rub it underneath. So I'm pushing down kind of like you would if you were sponging a stencil on a wall. And you can do different layers if you like it to be lighter versus darker. I do a couple layers just to make it really nice and dark, but that's a personal preference. And now you lift it up and you can see it looks really great. I'm going to wipe off my stencil in between each use so that it doesn't transfer where I don't want it to. So just using a baby wipe or a household wipe, it easily comes right off the stencil. Now I'm going to place the stencil on the front wall, and I'm going to line them up so that they are the same as the wall I just did. This is important because the middle wall we're going to offset so that they look like three separate walls. And then I cover up the middle door section, and this is just for a couple of reasons. It holds the stencil in place, and then it'll also protect that area because I don't want the red to go into that area on accident. So I'm going to do the same thing I did before, and I'm going to put this Distress Oxide on top of the stencils. And if you're thinking because it's Distress Oxide that you'll spray it with water and see what kind of cool effect it will do, it will actually bleed the stencils together and it will no longer look like bricks. It will look like a watery watercolor blob instead. I'm going to wash off the stencil again, and then I'm going to remove the washi tape from the middle wall that we've been covering up so that we can do the middle brick section. After it's dry, I'm actually going to cover up the Distress Oxide first with more washi tape so that can protect the areas that we've already done. If it's not dry, I would wait so that you don't smudge any of that. And then I'm going to offset the brick stencil so that it will not be in line with the other walls, but it will look like a distinctly different wall. Next, I'm going to outline the walls with a glaze pen from Sakura, and I use a ruler because I think I want them straight, but going back and doing it again, I think I would do it without the ruler because it just makes it a more relaxed look instead of you can see my lines aren't straight anyways, perfectly straight anyways. So I think I go back and try and fix it later with a glaze pen. So you can use a ruler if you want, but it's not necessarily. And I wipe off the ruler between each use so that I don't smudge the glaze ink from one section to the next. And then I continue to outline all of the rest of my pencil marks with the glaze pen. And when that's dry, if you have some pencil that's showing, you can erase it. Next, I get the stickers out and I am going to figure out where I want them to go. And this is the fun part because you can choose the ones you like the best and you can choose where you want them to go. These birds and some of the flowers, I end up picking back up and I put the 3D foam stickers on them. So something for you to think about that I don't do until later on in this video. Somehow I missed filming me putting the holy, holy, holy stickers on the front of the church, but I placed them in the top right and the top left corners of the page first, and I didn't like either as much as putting them in the window or doorway of the church. So I put the holy, holy, holy stickers after I do all the flower stickers, and then I begin to outline them using a black glaze pen. Next, I take the tab sticker and I thin it out just a little bit to take some of the excess white off and center it on my tab. And then I attach the tab using double-sided sticky mounting squares. And then I add some flowers on top of the tab. I decide to fill the top of the steeple with some windows. You might want to do a different kind of window. You could do stained glass. You could do a Deseret beehive symbol. There's all different things that make our little churches different. They're very similar, but they are also different. So this is what I chose to do. It's probably one of the easiest things you could do. And then I'm going to outline it with the glaze. And it doesn't take a lot of art skill to draw a rectangle. And then I go back and lift up some of the stickers that I had already placed so that I can put the 3D squares on the back side of them so that they pop up off of the page. It just makes them a little bit more noticeable instead of blending in with what's already on there. Next, I take a gray colored pencil and I'm going to color in the white roof to just be gray. And unfortunately, I don't realize that I get off camera when I am coloring some of these parts, but you can see from the still photo what parts I ended up coloring in, both on the steeple and then on the roof itself. That's it. I hope you guys liked this layout. We'll see you next time. Bye.